Let's say you hear the word Sharia. What comes to your mind? You'd probably imagine a dark, scary place with women in chains, bearded men carrying knives, and malnourished hands being cut off for stealing food. In reality, the Sharia is none of that. So what is the Sharia? What does it mean? And why does it chop people's hands off? Let's get right into it. Sharia in Arabic literally means a flowing spring or a watering hole. Technically, Sharia is a body of law that governs not only religious rituals, but also aspects of everyday life in Islam. It's the idea of God's law which aims to protect the faith, intellect, wealth, health, and lineage of an individual and the society at large. And just like any other broad legal concept, the Sharia is a unified whole that contains within it tremendous diversity. Sharia can primarily be divided into belief, aqidah, like belief in God and His prophets, practical rulings, fiqh, such as laws pertaining to food and drink, character and morals, akhlaq, like kind treatment to one's spouse and parents. Much of the Sharia deals with day-to-day rulings, with sometimes the odd question like, can I eat a crocodile, or can I bathe in tea? Now, let's get to the hand-chopping part, shall we? In Islam, punishments are known as hudud, literally meaning prevention, restraint, or prohibition, and they fall under fiqh, comprising only less than 10% of it. The hudud for a person who steals is to have one of their hands amputated. Hearing this, you might imagine hands being chopped off for all kinds of petty theft, but the reality couldn't be more different. Simply because, whenever a crime occurs, Sharia law requires due court process to take place, and the accused is innocent until proven guilty. Furthermore, there are more than 60 conditions that need to be fulfilled for the amputation verdict to be actually carried out. Some of these conditions are as follows. The item was stolen from a secure place, having a value of more than 10 dirhams of Meccan weight. The thief is an adult, of sound mind, not insane, and committed the crime out of his own free will. He was neither under duress, nor was he drunk, or motivated by hunger. The crime was witnessed by 2 witnesses of upright nature who do not disagree or retract their testimony. A month has not passed since the crime occurred. The thief, he or she, is neither a uterine relative nor the spouse of the person they stole from, and so on and on until all the 60+ conditions are fulfilled. The judges are also expected by law to take into consideration the examples set by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, to ward off capital punishments via ambiguities as a divine command. Any theft that does not meet all these conditions would receive a ta'zir, a discretionary punishment. This is why most hudud punishments are actually very difficult to implement, and simply stealing a piece of bread would not call for an amputation. So why does the Sharia prescribe such punishments when it's so difficult to prove them? The answer lies in understanding the nature of hudud, which is to deter a person from committing a crime. As hudud punishments are daunting and intimidating, it helps potential criminals, people in general, to stay away from it, which is why historically, the lands in which hudud was implemented in totality saw very little crime.
تِلْكَ حُدُودُ اللَّهِ فَلَا تَقْرَبُوهَا.
The Quran says, these are the limits set by God, so near them not. Theory of Utilitarianism by Jeremy Bentham gives logic to the matter at hand. He proposed the equation expected punishment or deterrent power equals to severity of punishment times probability of getting caught. E equals S times P. In simple words, if there is little chance of being caught, then the law has to be harsh enough to discourage a person from even thinking of committing a crime due to the severity of punishment. And therefore, frightening punishments are seen as a way to deter potential criminals. Subjecting thousands of petty criminals to hudud is not the intention. Scaring them into not breaking the law is. Tough requirements for carrying out hudud, the divine obligation to ward off punishments via ambiguities, Presumption of innocence and a fair and balanced court system are the essential pillars on which the Sharia is built upon. Given the alarming rate at which crimes are snowballing in the modern world, the hudud punishments under the Sharia provide an alternate proven solution to the conventional system, which is expensive, time-consuming, and ineffective at keeping a check on crime. This video is brought to you by MuslimCentral.com, where you can browse through hundreds of audios, videos, and podcasts of Muslim scholars from around the world. Learn more about the Sharia by clicking on the links in the description below.